Alright, so we have one of the tortoises hatching out here, and I don't know if the camera picks it up very well, but well, when it was first hatching, it was cracking the harder part of the shell, but this soft part that you see right there in the middle, it wasn't able to crack that, so it was just cracking the outer parts. So I pulled off the skin so that it could breathe, because it was trying to get out and it was cracking, but it wasn't able to rip off that part. So I did that to see if it was still alive, hoping it would survive. And I see that it has one eye very big. You can see that eye. It's a lot larger than it should be. And the skin, like the color of its face, doesn't look very good either. Looks like a little orangey, blue, yellow. So we're gonna see how this tortoise goes. But we can see these here. This is what a regular one should look like. It's more yellow and brown than orange and blue. But the eyes, they look kind of similar. The only thing is that that this eye is a lot bigger. For this one, it's a lot bigger. You can see it there compared to the left eye or to the right eye. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. And this tortoise, it's alive and it should be good. It should be fine unless it's actually like physically weak. But so far it's hatching out fine. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so you can see that most of Shadow's clutch is already out. I left them on the vermiculite to see how it is, because this is a different vermiculite than the first ones that I was using. So far it looks pretty good, but we'll find out how it's doing at the end when I soak them to see how easy it comes off. And with this tortoise, I don't know if it's doing well or not. You can see the eyes still very swollen, and I think it's still alive, but I don't think it's gonna make it. I don't feel like it's gonna make it anymore. I'll see tomorrow morning. It's already like 10 p.m. so I'm gonna go to sleep now. So I'll see. I'll check on it tomorrow, see if it's still alive. Regardless, I'm still gonna post a video because I want to show you guys that not all the babies hatch out. Like usually, most of them do, but when it's in captivity in the wild, most of them don't. But sometimes there's bad eggs. Like you can see that I have some infertile eggs, like that one and the one back there, and those aren't that big a deal. But this is different because this one was already formed and it was even alive, but the tortoise itself was deformed and it came out too weak. So we'll see if it's gonna live or not. I'm not sure. I think it just opened its mouth a little bit, but I don't know. You can see it doesn't look too good. So we'll see. But yeah, most of the eggs in captivity hatch out. I've had over 200 eggs, and out of all of those, most of them have hatched. But I've never had a tortoise come out that had any types of issues. I've seen them online. Like I've seen tortoises born without jaws, without eyes. And this one just has a big swollen eye. That's really the only thing that I see different about it, but we'll see. Soak them now because they're already, or at least some of them are already ready to come out of that. And I'm gonna leave them in the incubator a little bit longer, but I'm gonna put them in these tubs, not with the lid on, but I'm gonna put them in these tubs and leave them in there a little bit longer. And for this guy, I don't think he's alive anymore. I'm gonna see. He hasn't moved at all, and I was touching his face a little bit to see if he'll react, but he didn't move. So I'm pretty sure he's dead already. So these two eggs are already gone. So I'm gonna open that up a little bit more and see if it's still alive, but I doubt it is. Alright guys, so you can see it's definitely not alive anymore. And you can see its eye, it's very deformed compared to this. I don't know if that's because of I don't know if it was born like that or if something happened to it while it was hatching that it made it pop out like that. Haven't had any issues with any other tortoise at all, and that's not like an injury or anything. That's the umbilical cord, that's the yolk sac. So I'm just gonna get rid of these two. This egg is infertile as well, so it's not gonna hatch either. I'm not gonna open that up because that's gonna smell bad if I do. But they don't always make it. For me, I haven't had any issues like this. Usually the ones that don't make it are just infertile eggs. And this is the first time that I have a tortoise that's actually developed dye before, or dye when it's coming out of the egg. So yeah, It sucks, but I'm still gonna post this video because I just want to show you guys they don't always survive. But most of them do in captivity, at least in the wild. Most of them don't survive. Right, but now you can see some of them are already ready to come out. Usually when they're already more active, that's when I'll soak them and change their tubs if they haven't absorbed their yolk sac. If they're ready, then I'll take them out of the enclosure after I soak them. But I'm not sure about these guys. I haven't really been looking at them too much. I've left them kind of just to see how it would be with the vermiculite and without me handling them too much, because this vermiculite, like I've seen most people use this exact type and they usually just leave them until they've completely absorbed the yolk sac in here. But I'm gonna take them out before they completely absorb it, just so that I could clean them off before. Right, so I took out the ones that had a smaller yolk sac than these. These still have it pretty pronounced, so I'm just gonna wait till, I'm gonna go put these guys in the incubator, and I'm gonna switch this water because you can see the vermiculite's already coming off and it's all over the place. So basically I'm just gonna put a little bit of water on them to see if I could get it off the top of their shells and then swap the water. So all I'm gonna do now is just do this with the water a little bit and try and scrape it off lightly. I'm just gonna show you doing them to a couple of them. So the reason this is stuck is because of the yolk on the egg, so it's pretty sticky, and when it dries up it gets harder, but you can see that once it gets wet it's easier, it'll come off easier. So you could just scrape it off, and this doesn't hurt them or anything, it doesn't bother them. As long as you're not too hard on them, they'll be fine. So just soak them a little bit, and with the more soaks you don't have to take it all off right away, but after you soak them a couple times it'll all come off. So sometimes I use a toothbrush to do it, so maybe I'll go get one that comes off easier. And with some paper towel it comes off pretty easily too. The paper towel absorbs the yolk pretty good. So I mostly want to get it off of their faces, and yeah, it's not really that big a deal like I said, but I'm gonna go take out the water now. So there we go, soaked all of them, and I used this toothbrush to lightly pass over it a little bit just to get off that yolk, and it worked out pretty good. Just remember, if you guys are doing this, these guys are still babies. Just because they have the shell doesn't mean that they're very strong. You can't just do it very hard, so just pass it lightly and keep it wet so that the yolk comes off easily, and it should come off. This guy, you can see he still has a little bit on his head, which I wasn't able to take off, but that's fine. A little bit on top of its head. They usually leave it like that for a couple weeks until all the soaks take it off. So I'm gonna go put these guys back in the incubator now. These guys are still not ready. I'll give them probably until tomorrow or the day after, and then they should go outside already. There we go, put them back in the incubator, and these guys are still waiting. So I'm just gonna end the video off here. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, and have a great day.